Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well. It's good to come to you once again with another video. And this time around, the purpose of this video is to help you out to write sections of the paper that we are all writing together. There are a number of changes, and I want to quickly mention them before we move on. One, I initially mentioned that each and every one here will write a session of it, but there is something that I looked at and I think it is good. I give you a clear picture of what we are trying to achieve so that you don't find yourself wanting. So what I mentioned was that we are using, if you remember, I mentioned that we are using Prisma, and we are trying to also write meta-analysis. And Prisma is a combination of both the meta-analysis and then also the usage of systematic literature review. So these are the two things that we are looking at. We are looking at together. Okay, so you have to understand. So the method here, the methodology of this paper is going to be guided by Prisma. So please read it. And then also another change is that Collins, I told you that you will write the methodology session. Don't worry about that. I've written it. I've done it. So the methodology session has been done by me already. What I'll do is that in my next video, I'll just take about 10 minutes to take you through how I write it. Then I'll share it with you. Okay. Then another change also is that once again, as I mentioned, I said, or I stated on the page that each and everyone here will write a section of the data analysis. But there's something that we have to do before we come to the analysis. The first thing that we have to do is that after abstract, if you look at any article after abstract, the next thing or the next chapter or section that comes in is introduction. So I want to group you guys into two. I want to group all of you into two. So introduction, I'm going to categorize the two, all of you into two. So introduction, one group will write that, and then also an overview of ESG in the construction industry. Or it could be an overview of, just give us a brief overview of ESG. What is ESG? Okay, and then if it is possible, even within the brief overview of ESG, you can also give us a brief overview of construction industry. Because okay, well, everyone knows what construction industry is about, but you can also talk about that. You can give us a brief overview of what construction industry is, especially with respect to this thing that we are writing. Okay, so two groups. So in this group, the first group, I mean the introduction group, the person who is going to lead this group is Akomea. So Akomea, you work with Akomea will work with Mame. Yes, Mameya and Akomea will work together with let me check, together with Michael Owahin. Then the last person will be I will add Sami to this group, Samuel. So please, the four of you, your work is that we are giving ourselves time, and I'm pleading with everyone. You are getting closer to your examination. The reason why I decided to bring all these changes is that I've really sat down to think about so many things. Your health, the work that you are doing in KUST, those of you who are in UK University, and those of you who are working now, and then also those of you who are outside Kenya University. I've looked at all these things. Yeah, because if I'm going to give you too much work, it's going to be somehow difficult for you. But at the same time, you need to be careful about this. Don't take it also to be like it's too light a burden, which it can be easily done within a split of a second. No, it needs reading, it needs concentration so that you can produce something good. Okay, so Aremeya, Mameya, Makiwawahine, and Sami. Within the next 10 days, after this video, after 10 days, we start from, and I'm pleading with you guys, I'm pleading once again, begging each and everybody, please, with all due respect to everyone, let us make this thing work. One thing is that I know all of you don't have time, I understand. I also don't have time. So when we decide to do something, the reason why, in a way, let me explain something to you. The reason why is like, this whole work, there's a little bit of delay that personally, I have so many things I'm doing. So when I give you work and you delay it a day or 2 or 3, it eats into mine, or it eats into whatever I'm doing. And when the thing eats into what I'm doing, I find it so difficult to stop whatever I'm doing at that moment to attend to your work and then go back to what I was doing. So what I do is that if I give you a work and you delay, I'll make sure I'll finish whatever I'm doing now before I come back to the work that you have. Not that I'll throw your work away, or I'll say that I won't take it. But I will take it, but I will take it or I will look at it later on. Where sometimes it will take a week or 2 weeks or 3. And you may think that, oh, I gave this thing to Isaac, I was expecting him to work on it. No, I don't work like that. I have to be honest with each and every one. I don't work. So when we set time that it is 2 days, I'm pleading with everyone, 2 days. And then I want to say that, please, this one, I'm not giving money. There's no monetary thing involved. So it is something that is going to benefit you and it's something that's going to benefit me. So pay attention and give the same commitment that you give it to when in case I'm giving you money. Like in situations where I'm giving you money, it's the way you pay attention to the work. I want to see the same thing. Don't see this thing to be a trivial thing that we are doing. So pay attention to that. Then also, don't forget, whatever we are doing here, apply to the topics I made you submit and the sections I told you to write. So with this introduction and overview, you can also develop your paper, a small portion of it. So little by little, by the time that we are done with this paper, you can also come out with your own paper. Once again, be serious about this thing that we are doing. I'm pleading with you. I just don't like this. And sometimes it sounds like I'm trying to be hard, but I'm not hard. But I don't really like this idea of work is given, you delay, and then you come back at your own time. And then when you come back at your own time, you also expect me to accommodate you and all that. Yes, it's good. I accept. I'm not going to throw you away. But if I'm going to accommodate you, if I'm going to attend to whatever you have sent to me, I will make sure that I have finished whatever I am on now before I attend to that. And it is possible that thing is going to take, it's going to drag for some time. It's going to drag for a week, it's going to drag for a month, it's going to drag for 2 months, 3 months. And sometimes when it happens that way, people think that, oh, we are doing this, we are not seeing anything, what is happening, what is going on, or something. No. If left to me alone, some of these things, we do it, we decide to come. pay attention to, commit to it. Within 21 days or a month, we are done and we are all there. But sometimes the issues of work goes out, people don't finish on time, some don't submit their work, a whole lot. And I don't know, but guys, please, everyone change, the attitude must change. Okay, you are here to learn. If you think, I'm sorry to say this, but if you think it's too demanding for you, see me privately and tell me that, Isaac, be honest. See, be honest to yourself. Maybe you are going through some challenges, you are facing some issues with respect to laptop and other issues, and you think from the way things are going, including school work and all other things, you think things are not how you want it to be. I can give you the opportunity to just take a break, and then maybe later on you can come back. Yeah, so that we all work, because honestly, it's not really nice when we start doing a project and we are on it for months. Sometimes I personally also feel bad. But what can I do? Because I can also, because you guys came to learn. You guys came so that I'll help you out. You guys came so that I'll teach you. So if you came that I'll teach you, is it not like you are the one who is supposed to be on me like all the time to find out? Sometimes it's something else. You are the one who's supposed to be on me and asking me every day, Isaac, okay, so what next? What are we doing? Something like that, because that means that, or it's a sign that you really want to learn something. It means that you want to see something. Okay. So please, all of you, map up and work on some things. Yeah, because yeah, understand. Once again, I understand that some emergencies and some things can come up. Some of you can fall sick and all. I understand some of these things, but I'm talking about, and some delays can come. It's not like I'm trying to be like we are AI, artificial intelligence or robot or something. I understand that as human beings, certain things can come up. Understandable. But I'm talking about when the thing becomes too long. When we decide to do something, let's say I am giving you 10 days now, then the thing, 21 days, getting to 3 weeks, nothing is seen. It's going to be something else. Okay. Then the last thing I would say before I move on to the other group is that please commit to this. Read why and write something good. Don't just write anything because you just want to, the deadline is getting closer, so I'm just trying to put something together and send it to Isaac. Remember, one thing I always tell people is this. When you are writing a paper with anyone, or anytime you get the opportunity to be on the paper, like to be considered as a co-author, I mean, be happy. Irrespective of your position. The reason why you have to be happy is that, for example, if all of us, the 10 of us, we have a paper and we get, let's say, 300 citations, because your name is on that paper, let's assume that, let me use one person, just an example, somebody like Elvis. Let's assume Elvis, your name is number 8. You are the number 8th person on the paper. If I am, let's say, the lead author, or let's say Mameya or Alidu is the lead author. If Alidu gets 300 citations, remember that you, the person, somebody like example Elvis, who is the number 8, the 8th position, you two, you also get the same citations. So if Mameya or Alidu is the lead author who is number 1, is getting 300 citations. If the paper has been cited 300, that means when you go to the Google Scholar and you are counting the papers that you have and also the citations that you have received. If Mameya is having 300, Elvis is also going to have 300. In a nutshell, at the end of the day, whatever benefit that will come out of the paper, irrespective of the position that you also benefit from it. Therefore, once you are part of the paper, or once somebody call you to join any paper that they are writing to contribute to that paper. Do it with all that is within you. Do your best. Don't attach lackadaisical attitude to it. That's my advice I'll give to you all. Don't do that. Don't see it to be like I'm writing for someone. See it to be like you are writing on your own exams, or you are writing your own thesis. Any session that you are writing, it could just be a paragraph, it could just be a page, it could just be 2 sentences. Make sure it's the best. That's the last advice I will give to you. Okay, now let me come back to brief of overview of ECG. So here, people like Alidu you'll be here, and Elvis. Then also Collins. I want Collins to be in this room. Who again? Ben be in this group. And then Ima. Good. So Alidu, Elvis, Collins, Ben, and Emmanuel. You are supposed to give us an overview of what ESG is about. Then after this, the third session will come in, which we normally call the methodology, which I have written already. I'll just make another video. I'm hoping either tomorrow or any moment from now to the end of the week. I'll make a video to explain to you how I wrote it so that you get an idea, because Prisma is a little bit different from most of the literature reviews that you know. But Prisma combines meta-analysis and systematic review. So I've written it, including the diagram. I've done it. Okay, so make sure that you watch the video when I share it. Okay, so the second group to 10 days. 10 days from now, which is the 14th of July. Now, what are we supposed to write? So let me explain it to you. I will encourage the two groups, find a way to meet and share the work. This I will not tell you what to do. So, for example, Michael, and Sammy, find a way, meet informally, find a way to meet and discuss how you are going to write it. So when you are writing, these are some of the things that I required in the introduction. Introduction, give us a brief introduction. Like it could be normally I prefer more historical. I like to write historical background of the thing that we are. So something like ESG. What is the historical background of ESG in construction? Or it could be ESG generally. So you can give us a historical overview of ESG. Then you can also you have to go ahead and give us the problem. So what is the specific problem? Is it the disclosure that people have not done in the construction industry? Or is it the implementation of the ESG in procurement? Or ESG in the construction phase? Or ESG post-construction stage? So give us where ESG has not been used. In other words, the problem statement. So to understand these things, I will refer you to some of my review articles, and then also other review articles that other authors have written. Just read them. Just read them. Just read them. Read the introduction and look at how they were constructed. I will encourage you to look at more of highly ranked journals, because remember, this paper that we are writing, we are sending it to a very good journal, a very prominent journal in the construction research field. Okay, which is GME, Journal of Management in Engineering, the very top tier journal. Therefore, you need to refer to some of, you can also refer to some of the papers that, especially review papers, that journal, which is the Journal of Management in Engineering, they have published, how they wrote it. Okay. So give us a problem, which we normally call in our normal thesis and research thing as problem statements. What problem or gap are we trying to solve? Why are we writing this paper? And that's the problem, and or the gap has something to do with why this paper. What are you trying to address? And then you go ahead to give us the two things. Either you guys can decide to come out with a research question. Could be one question or questions. And then also you can also add the objectives. Depending on how you want to go about it. The objectives will also be just only you state only the research purpose. The research purpose in this context is the same as research goal or research aim. Okay. So please do this, and then after this, you have to give us a brief. That one also should be brief. The why this paper? Okay, which in normal research context, we see the implications or the contribution. This should be a brief one, because the expanded version of the contributions or the implications of the study will come at the concluding parts of the paper. So just give us the reason why this paper, why. Or you can also see what are the contributions of this paper. That's a brief one. So contribution to what? To practice, and also contribution to research, theory. If you think it's good, I think in this context, you also have to talk about policy. But ESG is gradually becoming something that policymakers are interested in. Okay, then you give us the summary of the subsequent chapters or the subsequent sections. Summary of the paper, the summary of the section of the paper sections. Of the paper. So this is how it's supposed to be done. And all these things you can refer to my previous papers. You can refer to the Mosdakon, Dr. Rooney, and so many other people that you know. Refer to their review papers. And the aim is not to just go and pick from them, but it's like for you to get an idea. That's what I'm talking about. So how do you get information to write this? Good. So here, I will encourage you to look at more, just do a Google search. For example, what is like this thing I was searching yesterday, I saw, what is ESG and what does it mean for the construction industry? When you read something like this, it will give you an idea about how to go about writing it. There's not only this one. I think there are a number of them. News articles, ESG, news articles, and I'll prefer news articles, and then press releases, documents, which are like institutional documents. So look at all of them, okay, and then use them to do the work. Now let me come to the second group. The second group, which is give us a brief overview of ESG. For construction industry, like people know construction industry, so I don't think it's necessary to explain what construction industry is about, or give us an explanation, because people know when we talk about construction industry, unless we want to talk about AEC. Okay, so if we want to talk about AEC, then that would be a subsection. So that would be like 2.1. What is AEC in that? AEC here simply means architecture, engineering, and construction industry. Architectural engineering, construction industry. Okay, so any of them. But what am I expecting here? So here I want to see the definition of ESG. And this definition shouldn't come from only the construction point of view. It can be a general. What is ESG? General. And this should be like, so once again, here to readings, you need to do readings, whether it's Google, normal Google search, or it could also be okay. So there's something I'm seeing here. So let me go back and show you something. There's something I'm seeing here. One, there is ESG, and then also ESG reporting. They are not the same. Okay, so this will be, oh, sorry, this will be 2.3, this will be 2.1. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, maybe 2.3. So definition of ESG. So what is ESG? So this can be a paragraph or maximum half a page. Just give us the definition of what ESG is about. And this, as I mentioned, should be something generic, general. And if you're going to quote from, or if you're using any institution, it should be an institution which is well known. Okay, because I know on online, a lot of people have given definitions of what ESG is about. I prefer an institution which is popular in something like PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. So they have given a definition. So that is about creating a tangible practical plan that achieves real results. Is more than good intentions. Okay, so you can read this document. Not only PwC, you can also look at other documents. Okay, so just something like OECD, something like that. Just look at an institution and give us the definition. But what you can also do, the definition is that you can give 1 or 2 or maximum 3 definitions, and then you try to look at some of the key terms in each of the definitions and explain them small. We give them a further explanation. Okay, yeah. Now we come to the next one. Okay, so I think the way I have made it is making more sense. What is ESG reporting? Because the reporting is the same as disclosure. So ESG reporting is not the same as ESG. ESG is basically environmental, social, and governance. But you can have an idea about it without reporting it. So if somebody is going to report it, then what does it mean? What is ESG reporting? So I think that when you check the website, you get some things to support you. Now you can also give a brief explanation of what AEC Industry is about. Okay, yeah, just give a brief definition of what AEC. Or if the AEC is too much, you can just make it construction industry. Just give us, in this context, what's the meaning of construction industry? What and what come together to form a construction industry? We want to understand that. and maybe why ESG reporting is even important. Maybe something brief, important in the construction industry, something like that. Okay, so this is 10 days. Here, who is the leader? Elvis. Oh, Alidu. Alidu, and I have appointed Alidu and Elvis. The two of you will be moderating this group. So make sure within 10 days you write this thing for me. Then the first group I've nominated Arimeyao and Mameyao. The two of you are the leaders. Arimeyao will take the lead role, Mameyao support, and others will also help. So please, the fact that you are in a group does not mean that the leaders alone should do the work. And the leaders, please, if somebody is not doing the work, kindly report the thing to, because the thing is, please, everybody should get this. One, I don't want anybody to be here in a group where we finish a paper writing and it will be like the person, you have not learned anything. That will not be good. So do your best to participate. Whatever your leader will tell you to do, do it. So that within the next 10 days, this thing will be done for all of us. So the question then that somebody will ask is, so how many pages, Isaac, are you expecting? Okay, so for the first group, I'm expecting something like this, 1.5 pages, okay, maximum 2 pages. Okay, I'll go for 2 pages, maximum 2 pages, excluding references. And please make sure you show the references, but excluding. If you take the references out, the document should fill 1.5 page to 2 pages maximum. When it comes to the other group too, the same. So here too, you need to prioritize your page and your words so that you can get all these things captured. What is the definition of ESG, the ESG reporting disclosure, and then AEC Industry or construction industry. Okay, so here too, maximum of 2 pages. Okay, thank you. Methodology. Now let me bring you back to something that I have done. I can do this today, but I will do another video because the time is almost up. Let me add 10 minutes. I'll do another video where I will really take you through how I came about the papers. But I'm just going to give you some brief tutorial, in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I should be done. Then I'll share the video with you. Okay, so how did I come about the ESG, these papers? So I want to take you back to just give me a minute. Just give me a minute, okay, please. I want to just set something up and show it to you briefly. Okay, so let me go. Let me start with the Web of Science. Web of Science. So the other day, if you watch the other videos I showed you, I showed you how to. Okay, so Web of Science. So I showed you how to get Web of Science in case you have access to it, because not everyone has access to that. So these are the keywords I put in. So ESG disclosure, or ESG, or environmental, environment, social governance, and also ESG reporting. Yeah. So that's the first group of keywords. Then the next crop of keywords are related to the construction industry, because ESG itself is a broad topic, but we are limiting it to construction industry. So in the construction industry, these are some of the words I use: construction industry, build environment, building sector, construction sector, architectural, engineering, and construction, AEC industry. All these things are related. So when I put the two in, then I did a search. And I did a search. I got 17 documents. That's fine. 17 documents are fine. Okay, so 17 documents. Out of these 17 documents, 13 are the ones which are articles, which are relevant. And if you add a review, 14. And then yeah, so I downloaded them. So I've put them here. I downloaded them in the form of a Word document. Okay, good. Then what's the other search engine that I use? I use the ProQuest. With respect to ProQuest, this is what I did. I just did a search. Let me go back and do it. Let me check that out. I can't find it. So let me be quick. So I also use ProQuest as well, because ProQuest is also one of the key search engines that we are using for this one. So ESG disclosure, or ESG, ESG reporting. Or in other words, the same thing that you put in the other search engine, you have to put the same keyword. You didn't need them. And social governance. And then the other rule, we have to put in a construction. So I can copy it straight away from here. Okay, so the same thing. So we just put that in the ProQuest. I have it. Yeah, so once this thing is done, then I did a set. When I did a set, I got a lot of documents, I think 5,000 something, but I limited them to scholarly journals. Okay, peer-reviewed scholarly journals. And when you limit them to that, it will come down to 576. And out of the 576, I even checked the document type. I said I want articles, no editorials, articles that I'm interested in. Then the language too. Some changes. English, what I'm interested in. Okay. So when I did that, the article came to 520. Then I did each of them. I decided to go through each of them to find out the ones which are relevant to our article. Okay. Yeah. So when I'm reporting, I report all these things. I need to report all these things when I'm doing that. But when I went through the titles, I saw that most of them, majority, are not relevant. So I ended up getting 8. It's only 8 that I retrieved. 8 of them that are important out of these 520. I've done all that. Most of them, I don't know how come they appear. I don't know, but kind of they are not even, most of them are even not related to even construction. They have nothing to do with construction, amazingly. Yeah, but they all appeared. So I just took my time and I took all of them out. Okay, and some of them too, I think it has to do with the keywords. Yeah, it's like once the keyword is in that article, then it will appear. But it has nothing to do with what you are doing. It has totally nothing to do with what you are doing. So I picked it. So I end up getting 8 from ProQuest out of the 5. Then few times, oh God, then with the Scopus, I did a FedMed too. Then I did Scopus. Scopus, I got 20. So let me quickly show you quickly. Scopus 2, I got 20. Then I refined it. I refined, and then based on what I refined, I ended up getting that one. So I ended up getting 8. It's 8 that I also found to be relevant. Good. Then I did a PubMed to let me quickly. Oh, okay, I didn't show the. Let me show you how it's came. Okay, so this is something wrong with that. All these things are not supposed to show. Okay, yeah. Initially, I actually got 20, but I think upon further refinement, when I refined and I took out the books and all that, I ended up getting only 8 here. That's what's here. And if you add the reviews, that's 9. Okay, so 8. Once I got PubMed, the time is almost we show you the PubMed. So by now, we should be familiar with all these things. My brothers and sisters, you should be familiar with this. Okay. Yeah, you should be familiar with this. What I would say is that this video will not, the video will not be online. Yeah, so I will make it private in the sense that at this point we are writing the paper, because if I put it online, nobody knows who is watching online. Somebody may follow the steps and then put the paper together and then submit it before us. So I'm not going to put this thing online. Okay. So when you go about it, the permit, it gave me thousands of papers. I think in total, give me a certain number. Yeah, 3,833. But most of these documents are not relevant. Most. So here too, when I checked the work, because these things came out as a result of the keywords. So these things don't even have anything to do with the ESG that we are writing about. So I ended up getting 10 from here, 10 papers from here. Okay, 10. I got 10 from here, from the 3,800 and something. So when we are reporting, all these things must be reported. Okay, so what did I do? So when I put the 8, 9, 10, and all that, everything together, the relevant ones from all the search engines, including Google Scholar. Google Scholar too, I did a similar thing there. Let me show you briefly. At the time has gone beyond that, but you just give me some few minutes to finish it up. Sorry about that, but let me do it. Google Scholar 2 also gave me, yeah, 20 papers, 20 original papers. No, not this one. Gave me 20 original papers, 20. That is out. But I'll show you this. ESG reporting, ESG, action, industry. Uh, yes, initially, actually, it gave me 80, it gave me 85, yeah, 85 that I saw. But upon further reading in terms of the title and then the abstracts, I ended up getting 20 from here. I think 20 or I mean this. Oh, sorry. I need to log in. That's not important. But what I'm trying to say is that the Google Scholar, I was trying to show you where I saved them. But the Google Scholar, I ended up getting 20 papers from here, which I really liked. So I added them. So in all, in a nutshell, the papers I've been able to retrieve, which currently I consider them to be important, are these papers. I have to do further reading of these papers in terms of the text. So I'll determine whether they are important or not. Then from there, I'll do what we call quality assessment. So the next video I'll do, I will show how I wrote the methodology and also the quality assessment. And I think after doing that, these 31 papers, we may end up getting about 15 to 20 from them. Yeah, and the rest may not be important. And because the papers are not many, we are going to add what we call gray literature. So I've already worked also on the gray literature too. What is gray literature? The gray literature includes theses, reports, and other documents which don't go through the peer review process. They are not peer reviewed journal articles. So they are called gray literature. So I have a number of them here that I've been able to retrieve. So currently I have 26, and they include reports. Oh, okay. I even have some of them. So 26, and then possibly out of this, I'll make it 5 or 4 to add to about 30. So we have about 30 reports, which after going through the quality assessment, some of them also go out. So we may end up getting between, I'm estimating we may end up getting about between 20 to 35 papers, 20 to 35 documents that we are going to use to write our paper. So that is all for now. So please, I want you to do this work with all your heart and with all your time and with all your everything. Please do your best. I'm pleading, begging everyone. I'm begging you. In 10 days' time, this thing must be ready. It shouldn't be something I should be chasing anybody after. I'm begging. No, I'm not going to do that. And honestly, if the progress is not going to be good, because I know many of you are heading towards your exam. That's why I brought this strategy, so that it will ease the pressure on you. If I continue to see that we are not progressing, then what is going to happen is that I may resort to, what's going to happen is that I may resort to maybe either putting on hold on this project or something. Because honestly, I don't really like a project that we are going to be on forever, where we are not seeing any progress. So thank you very much for your time. Once you are done with this, and I'm done with the quality assessment and methodology thing, and you also done your part, because the methodology, I need to refine it again because I've done something. So just once you are done, everyone is done with, we are all done within the 14 days, and the 10 days with our work, and then we put them together. The next step is to do the analysis. Once we are done with the analysis, then we write on it, we just submit, and we are done. So that's all. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you, and I'm hopeful that you're going to do your best to produce the best for all of us. Thank you and take care. Bye.